What's up, everyone? Thanks for stopping by my channel, Esteemed Queen and Mentality. Be sure that you like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell down below so that way you get to know when I post all of my tea talks. I hope everyone is doing well, swell, striving, and surviving. Okay, I got 4 screens going on, so bear with me. But I hope everyone is doing well, striving, thriving, surviving, all that good jazz, just like I just said. You know, the summertime is here for the kids, so I'm going to, go through the teacher transition of the summer. This summer is going to be so much different because, as you're supposed to be, I'm in a different place. I'm talking to you like I'm me. I'm in a different place, and I hope you all too, for the better. Okay, so now everything wants to have notifications go off. Alright, so if you want to know what all this craziness is behind me, be sure that you pay attention to the church announcements down below, because they have changed recently. So if you're interested in just being curious, you're not nosy, you're curious, alright? If you're curious about what's going on behind me, be sure to check out all the church announcements down below. That will give you your answers, okay? Don't ask me nothing until you research it first, alright? That's what I tell my students. So, go ahead, get your water, get your wine, get whatever it is that you're sipping on. Get it and bring it close. Cheers. Okay. Okay. Now, I love that all of my tea talkers are, I'm happy all of my tea talkers are motivated and they have a sense of their position as to where they are. I did a video entitled, it was called You're Here, right? So after this video, go and check that one out. But needless to say, it's always good to know where you're at as far as like grounding is concerned, because until you are safe, you're not going to be able to understand support. And until you are safe, you won't have that feeling of feeling supported. All right. If you're interested in all that good, deep, therapeutic jazz, go over to my coaching page, Open Hearts and Freed Spirits. I'd be more than happy to discuss that with you. But needless to say, this tea talk, of course, is for you all who are independent people. Okay? All the women independent. INDEPENDENT. Do you know what that mean, man? I had to do what I had to do. I had to do it. But needless to say, you know what I'm saying? I love her because she got her own. That's for all my my good old R&B people. You know what I'm saying? Your little, oh, I can't say that one because I do have teenagers that watch. But yeah. So this is for all of my independent tea talkers, my self-sufficient tea talkers. This is for all my creative tea talkers. This is for all my skillful tea talkers, my talented tea talkers, all of my tea talkers that understand their purpose and their mission. All right, we need to go on to a new series of things to talk about. You are aware of yourself enough to know when to pat yourself on the back and kick yourself in the ass. So now we need to go ahead and pay attention and read the room. Okay, we need to read the room. And even though sometimes, y'all know I speak allegorical. So just because you inside don't mean that there's not vultures around. You feel me? We need to have a tea talk, not to discourage ourselves from being who we're supposed to be, not to discourage us from manifesting what we want to have happen for us, not canceling out our affirmations because of post-traumatic stress related events and experiences, right? we don't want to discourage ourselves from believing that there are some decent people in this world. We don't want to discourage ourselves from thinking that it is not okay for us to manifest out loud what we aspire to be, correct? Okay, all that we're trying to put out for ourselves, we have to look at who, I want to say it like this, we need to look at how we say it and who we say it around. All right, we need to have a tea talk about that, because though we have affirmations that we say out loud, like you're going to have a good day, right? You see how it goes out, but who's circling above waiting for your day to fuck up, some road rage, someone, you know, ask you for some shit that you know damn well, they know damn well that you don't have, you know, what's circling above? This tea talk is, again, not to discourage anybody from doing what they want, because guess what? I got a story time for you, all right, for this tea talk. But needless to say, I want to talk about something that will help you be more aware of your surroundings, because though we all have friends, we all have associates, we all have relationships, and we cultivate them how we want to, however it happens, hopefully not trauma bonding wise. Go over to that channel for that. But needless to say, it's real easy to be contagious. And if you don't know the symptoms of who's around you and what's around you, you're easy to be pickings. And so when we manifest out loud what we want and what's going to happen and what you pray and hope to happen that's good for you, there are some birds that be lurking for you to drop a midst of a crumb, and they coming for you. A lot of times, like for instance, when I first started all of my businesses, like I'm telling my age, maybe 2 decades ago, right? The ones who know, right? So in the beginning, I was just like, I just, if I see something that was close to something that I'm trying to create, I was taught and trained and groomed to believe that, you know, a creation and an idea can't be yours. Like, it's supposed to be meant to give away. And I find years later, decades later, that that's not to be the truth. If it's for me, trust me when I tell you, it's in my lane. There's no point in being jealous or, you know, envious of anybody if you understand seasons, patience, and trust. All right? And that's not in people. That's not in people. So with that being said, I do have a shirt on, y'all. See? Oh wait, hold on. Let's try that out. Okay, so yeah, so that's not in people. But if we were to talk about, if so happens it doesn't work out, who's there to pick you up? And who's there to make sure you understand that every single piece, every single mustard seed, every single breadcrumb that you sit here and you decide to leave and not pick up, this tea talk is for you to understand that there's always going to be some type of bird, some type of people, place, and thing that's going to want to eat your crumbs. You feel me? There's always someone willing to take your sandwich. There's always someone willing to take your lunch, take your spot. And as much as we are protective and have boundaries as to how we won't allow people to treat us, there's also a boundary that we need for the ones that, of course, it's cool to express what it is that you want to do and how you want to do it. But there's also a hindrance that comes with that, because believe it or not, we are going to come across people in life that their purpose is to not surrender, to not have a higher power, to not have a leader with morals, integrity, purpose, you name it. There are people out there where it's just like, well, shit. And where we mess up at is that we think we're supposed to drag them along until they're able to do for themselves or see their light. And this is what this Tea Talks, I want to say its scope is going to be for the summer, is your light, right? Just like there's a bird above waiting for you to drop food, there's ducks too that are quick to pick up crumbs. And you have to be careful of those victim minded like people, because you'll either find yourself in one or the other as far as boats is concerned, trying to fix them or you're trying to get away, because they either took part of your identity, you feel, because that can happen. And people don't believe in spirit snatching. I'm gonna do a series on that on my Open Hearts, on my coaching channel, so be sure that you subscribe there. But needless to say, there's many different ways someone can come in and be able to take what is part of your soul and is part of you, is part of your identity. So I think as a Tea Talk, it's really good to have a backup plan when the communication doesn't work, right? So if you tell someone, you know, this doesn't work, this is what happened, how it made you feel, you use all the assertive communication skills possible, but yet it fails, you know. So you have this person that's trying to perpetrate, trying to mimic, all right? You have, you know, it's not like they took your shit and trying to make an idea. They took your whole shit and made their own person. Damn, they're a clone. We need to talk about those people. I'm in a business industry that's a little bit broader now. So, yeah, I kind of use my life as a Tea Talk testimony for that. In the beginning, sometimes, you know, you got to learn there's a fine line between competition and copying. But there are vultures out there that are on the copying side, right? When you are secure in your talents and who you are, there is no competition. There's no envy, because your trust is grounded in who you are. But those birds, those vultures, those ravens, those crows, those roaches, whatever you want to call it, you need to be aware of those, because those are who's coming to pick up the bits and pieces that aren't perfect on you. Those chisel pieces are gold mines and treasures for them motherfuckers. For those motherfuckers. So get your water, get your wine, get whatever it is that you're sipping on, get it and bring it close. So I kind of said a mouthful already. You know, if you didn't catch it, rewind back a little bit. But you know, I feel like the easiest way to understand people are just being people is for you to understand their reactions, positive and negative. All right, we know the positive ones because they're genuine, they're authentic. You know, they are really like bona fide. I'm just happy, you know, like that's just their being, that's just their spirit, you know, that's just their goal. They have goals for others, so then that way they feel safer in their environment. Amen. All right, so when we talk about the folks that aren't willing to do the work, the ones who are willing to come and copy, period, duplicate, mimic. All right, they think it's Halloween around this bitch. They got costumes on, thinking that they you. All right, sidebar, I want to make sure that you understand the reason why you're so mad. It's because the bottom line is you're unique, bitch. You are unique, and when you are unique, I can understand totally how you're upset. It takes a lot of energy to not be yourself or to not make your own idea. It's real easy to manufacture what you assume is of a person than you knowing the core of that being. But that's here or there, because again, like, these people are empty, they're shells of people. And so we have to get to a point in place where we don't feel like we got to pick them up, We don't have to have pity for them. We don't have to continue to reiterate the same intervention A&E talk that multiple times have shown it's been a failure. You know, pay attention to the things that need your attention. And a lot of times we take what someone else does and we try to make it fit for us. But ultimately, have y'all ever seen that movie on Netflix about Madam C.J. Walker? Someone tried to mimic her product, and I think she had to hold half the town bald or some shit like that. Either that or it was you can just tell by the dialogue. That's what I remember. The dialogue in the Madam C.J. Walker story on Netflix pretty much showed in action passion from Sarah, from Madam C.J. Walker. And then the opposing party, who's just competition, she got by because she was mixed. And out of all of the beauty and the strength that's in her, she says her most valuable part of herself was her hair. She was a bird. I don't mean no harm, but that's my example. Where Sarah, Madam's husband was like, you know what, I give up, this is too much for me. Of course, because it's not for you, it was for her. So of course you're supposed to tap out. That's what people be missing and shit like that. Of course you're supposed to tap out. It's not meant for you, it's meant for me. You're around, I share, but this isn't meant for you, it's meant for me. You know what I'm saying? So when you get to a point when you find ones that are like that, you know, it's interesting how some people will have patience to see how your story maps out, just to hop onto a thought that if so happens they feel pity, you'll take them along. I had a friend from high school. His name's Aaron. All right. And so he didn't finish school. He went to Job Corps. And straight from there, he went into the military, right? He went to the military. They didn't care for him. They gave him $200 for the rest of his life and got him the fuck out. All right. So then he goes to Las Vegas. He wants to be a little Floyd Mayweather. He ended up doing security instead. Mind you, at that time, I was on a book tour. And my book tour was taking me all different places, including the state and where he lived. So, of course, I was ecstatic to go. And when he saw how much support I received, and mind you, I'm on the East Coast. He was on the West Coast. So when it was time for my event to come around and he saw the outpour of support that I was receiving, he was just, I guess at that point, it was just like, light bulb. His family lives in North Carolina, not that far from me, maybe an hour. And so he thought it would be a good idea for him to move back home. Now that's going to be something separate as far as a video is concerned. But needless to say, you know, he wanted to be back home because, you know, Las Vegas wasn't working out. So instead of his parents, and that should have been my first red flag, was the fact of his parents. If your parents ain't willing to take you in, especially if you did decent all your life, so on and so forth, your parents should be half decent to be like, you know what, I'm going to help you. I got a student in a couple minutes. So, needless to say, I was like, nah, you know what I'm saying? If you can get to this side, if you can get to the East Coast, you know what I'm saying? I'll help you out. You know what I'm saying? I'll help you out. I was that type of friend. Like, went ahead, made sure he had wheels to, you know, helped him with bills to make sure he was able to be proactive in the purpose while he moved back on the East Coast. Needless to say, he took and measured my success of a planned and strategized and event, and he moved here, and instead of getting a job first, he's eating every fucking thing out the fridge, and then he's going to a boxing gym for 40 hours a week, like a full-time fucking job, but bringing no money in. You know, you move from the West Coast, I'm sure it's more expensive than the East, so you should have something to show coming all this way. Again, you got to do the work. Just like I put in the work for my book tour, he thought it would be easier to skip the line, use my connections to be able to get himself somewhere, and he fell flat on his face. Because at that time, not knowing I was building a boundary, I did. Like, no, you're not going to lay up in here, eat a whole extra large Brooklyn style fucking pizza on a daily basis, couple of them. And then here it is. I'm trying to help and make sure that you are, I don't want to say supported because I knew the difference. I want to say encouraged. Just for the simple fact that you saw my ability to have a successful event. You took that and ran with it as if, like, if you came over here, I will sponsor you in the same way. But you don't understand that I had backers and investors for all that. I still had to put in the work and get up every day, plus work a real estate job and go to 2 schools at one time, being for counseling and psychology, and still get my degree. Like, you don't understand the work that besides me doing real estate, I still had to work 2 kitchen jobs, because guess what? I wasn't trying to sit here and not be someone to say my education didn't pay for anything. Everything that I have up to this date and time actually is from me making sure school paid for it. Whether it's me in education, whether it's me in a skill, whether it's me in a talent, a trade, you name it. Everything in my life is paid for, paid in full. So for you to see the outside but not know the back office, you can. That's when people mess themselves up, because you get to a point in place where it makes sense. It's just like, look, if you went and did what you needed to do, you sacrificed what you needed to sacrifice. It's okay if you let the birds get the bones, because nothing up top really gonna eat that. You know, it's whatever's walking around, right? Just to get them off your scent a little bit, just to get them back in their lane. At the end of the day, whether you don't like the crust on your bread, whether you don't eat the gristle on your chicken bones, or you just very well don't eat certain vegetables, there's always someone willing to pick up the shit that you don't want and make it theirs. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't think it's the wisest, because there's many testimonies as to steps and hurdles and trials and tribulations. Anybody can tell you about their journey. If you've read my book, The Black Sheep Shadow, you will understand I'm not being abrasive, I'm just passionate. So when you have a friend that sits around a long time and they watch what you do just to haul off all of a sudden, come out of the middle of nowhere with some shit that's in the same industry, may not be parallel and completely relatable to what you have, but it's damn sure parallel, at least being in the same industry. You turn around, you write your paper just to find out, you put it through the plagiarism checker to find out some heifer somewhere else then took part of your paper. Now you gotta recite shit that you said. How do you do that? Unless you record it and add it to your works cited page. Okay, I'm relating for those. Congrats to the ones who did graduate. It's been 4 years to this month I graduated. So shouts out to all my subscribers that have been with me before that time. But this is a good graduation talk, post talk to have. So just like you guard your personal space, you guard your children, you guard certain opinions that you have, feedback that you have, domains that you have, the same way you protect your inner child, all those things, you got to protect your creativity the same way. It's okay to patent your shit, LLC your shit. You know, do what you need to do to make sure that at least if so happens something does come across your desk that is, similar to what you're doing, at least you can say, well, wow, at least I'm part of the game changing movement. Because sometimes when you get past the idea and the definition of being competitive with people who aren't even thinking about you, when people try to come and just irritate you and mimic and perpetrate on who you are, remember, in order to see that, they had to have someone be a role model to do that. So consider yourself a leader in the game-changing movement. Those birds will starve if you don't drop anything. Just like negativity will starve if you don't feed it. I'm going to let that hold your ass because, you know what I'm saying, I got to go and teach a master class. So anyway, be sure, can I get some ice? Y'all be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell down below so that way you get to know when I post all of my tea talks. What do y'all do to starve the birds? Is that okay to say? What do y'all do to starve the birds? Starve the negativity. Starve, stragglers, panhandlers, mimickers, mimes, clowns. What do you do to keep the circus at bay? Because that's like, first of all, I don't even like birds flying above my head, because even though they say it's good luck, I don't like no birds pooping in my hair. That's a whole nother topic. But you get what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you walk in a zigzag? Do you not reveal everything about yourself? I don't. And that's cool. You got a little Carmen Sandiego vibe with you. That's cool. Come here. Da da da. Hey. You okay? I got my baby fixed, y'all. Nyla, I feel like you're Blue Ivy and I'm Beyonce. Say hi. This is my baby. This is the person I've been telling y'all about for the last 5 years almost. So say hi, Nyla. Say hi. All right, so y'all, thank you for my kiss. Give me another kiss. Thank you. So y'all be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you all for Nilo's well wishes with his surgery. As you can see, he is moving. He's been way quieter since he got his surgery, which is awesome. So you definitely don't hear him a lot. He's officially a house cat. I know. So he may make an appearance every now and then. Every now and then. Alright. Okay. And now he's shy. Okay, hold on. So, say hi. Say bye. Bye. Alright, y'all be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification. He is the reason why I glow, yo. Look at me. Be sure, stop it, get out of my homework. Be sure that you like, share, and subscribe. This is why I don't put him in my videos. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell down below, so then that way you get to know when I post all of my tea talks. I gotta go to my other job now, and we hope you all have a good day, and we will see you all on what day? Blink twice for Wednesday. Bye, y'all. Have a good one.